Hey there, I'm Tom Graham for Envato Tuts Plus, and in this video I'm going to show you how to take custom graphics from After Effects and bring them into OBS so that you can have clean pop-ups on your live stream. It's easy as. How about we get started? So here's an example of a little promo title that I've made in After Effects. This is something that I would trigger mid-stream in order to call attention to this video in particular, but you could have a little title or graphic or literally anything that you desire pop up. I've just created this one by animating some basic shape layers along with the Envato logo, the text, and our video thumbnail. It's very typical of the type of pop-up that you might want to bring into OBS. And of course, this is being built on a transparency layer, so we'll export this with the alpha channel on in order for it to correctly sit over the top of our other assets in the live stream. So make sure you're exporting the transparency layer correctly in After Effects, go to File, Export, Add to Render Queue, and under the Output module, select Render High Quality with Alpha, and then select your output destination and you're ready to render. Now we're ready to move over to OBS where we can bring in our new asset. And this is how I typically have OBS set up for my live streams on the Envato Tuts Plus YouTube channel. You can see in my scenes bin, I have it broken down into 3 sections. I've experimented a lot with this layout and I've found this works the best for me. I have it broken down into scenes and I toggle between those scenes throughout the stream, depending on what I need to show on screen. These scenes are made up of a combination of sources and assets, which you can see here below. Sources are things like my various cameras or monitors for capturing my screens, and then you have my system audio so that the audience can hear what's happening in the programs, and as well as that, I've got my vocal mic. Assets are graphic elements that are static or animated that I use in different places in the stream. I have some holding slides for when the stream is starting, or if I need to take a break, or if things go wrong, and this is where the asset that we've just created in After Effects lives. You can see that this is just a .mov file that I've imported from my computer. For this one, I have it set to loop continuously and to restart when the source becomes active, which means when I trigger it via my Stream Deck, it will autoplay and then continue to loop until I trigger something else. So that's an example of the full screen holding graphics, but we want to look at the little pop-ups with transparency layers and how to get them working properly in your OBS setup. So I'll just click back into the main monitor display here to get an idea of how the transparent pop-ups work, and I've realized that we're going to get a bit of a mirror tunnel here, so apologies. But this is a good place to shed light on how I set up each scene. I basically have it full of all of the sources that I need for what needs to be on screen at any point in time. In this case, it's my MacBook audio, my vocal mic, and the monitor capture. Importantly, the monitor capture is the bottom layer. Then I have all of the other assets I might want to use across the course of the stream above that. These are set to only play when I trigger them, not when the overall scene is triggered. So once I have the asset ready to use from After Effects, this is how I go about setting it up to play through OBS. Under the Assets section that I've created, I click this little plus button, which is actually adding what OBS calls a scene, but we're going to treat that scene as an asset. So just rename it to correspond with the asset that you've just brought in from After Effects, so I'll call this 07 new asset, and you can see that this has created a new asset container with nothing in it. If I click this one above, you can see that there is an asset loaded in, but this new asset that we've just created is still empty. So to bring the asset in, right-click in the empty area to the right, making sure that you have 07 new asset selected in your scenes list, click Add Media Source. In here, you'll be asked to name the new media source, and it can't be the same as the one that you've just created before, so we'll drop the 07 and simply call it New Asset. Next up, you simply browse to your desired media file and hit OK, making sure that you have not checked the loop button. This is important for a one-off pop-up. You want it to stop once the animation is completed, rather than continuing forever. You also want to make sure that the Restart Playback when source becomes active button is checked. This is how we will trigger it. So there you can see, our asset is successfully in OBS. So now how do we bring it into our main scenes in order to trigger it during a live stream? Let's select our scene source that we want to add it to. For me, I would replicate these next steps for all of my scenes so that I'm able to trigger this asset no matter what scene I'm in during my stream, but you can build it out fit for your needs. With the desired scene selected, you can right-click and select Add Scene. From here, you can add an existing scene, remembering that the asset we just loaded in is defined as a scene by OBS. Scroll down and find our new asset and select that. And like magic, we've got our new asset built in After Effects on a transparent layer playing over the top of our live screencast footage in OBS. The next step in this process is optional and can be tailored to your setup, but for me, I use an Elgato Stream Deck to trigger my different actions during the stream. There are a few other options for doing this without a Stream Deck, including just simply using hotkeys on your computer, which you'll see as part of this process. For the Stream Deck, you need to open up the Stream Deck software. You can see here, this is an example of another asset I have already set up. It's actually a multi-action button that does 2 things simultaneously when I press it. First, it targets OBS, and then it performs a hotkey trigger, which corresponds to a hotkey that I've set up in OBS. So for this new setup, I need to assign a hotkey in OBS. You do this by going to Preferences in OBS, and then on the left-hand side here, you can see there is a hotkeys section. If I scroll all the way to the bottom, you'll see my other assets that I've assigned hotkeys to already. And if I scroll up here to find our new asset, we can assign it a hotkey. I'll do this following the same system I currently have and set this new asset to restart with Ctrl-Shift-7. Once that's taken care of, we're back into the Stream Deck software and we need to select an unassigned key to program the multi-action trigger on. Under Stream Deck, we select the multi-action category and give it a title to correspond with the new asset. In the actions list, we need to first tell OBS to open by using an open trigger under System. We'll title that OBS and select OBS as the application to focus on. We'll then bring in a hotkey trigger, which again, we will title just to keep track of things. Then we'll assign the same keystrokes that we've done in OBS, which is Ctrl-Shift-7. I'll now trigger that button on my Stream Deck, and you can see that it triggers automatically and immediately in OBS. So you can see how easy it is to trigger complex graphics and animations during your live stream, even if you're concentrating on actually delivering your stream at the time. It takes a little bit of pre-production and some organization in OBS, but trust me, putting the extra time in before your stream makes it all worthwhile when you're in the heat of the moment and everything runs as smooth as butter. But do you know what's even easier than making your own graphics? Getting a subscription to Envato Elements and downloading millions of great assets, including video templates for motion graphics, as well as great stock footage, music, sound effects, fonts, and heaps more. The commercial licensing is really simple and you can cancel the subscription at any time, so why not check out the link in the description below for more info today.